Hey everybody, welcome back to BK's Bullets. Today we're going to be going through the ComiXology Unlimited editions for October. Yes, it is October 1st, and ComiXology has their new releases up on the first day of the month. Little round of applause. Bravo, ComiXology, for getting your acts together and not waiting for 5 to 6 days in before you get your editions on here, much less advertise them. So, bravo, props should be given. Congratulations. So, we are here on the main page of our ComiXology app, and I always go here because they always highlight some different stuff. So, there's a couple different things coming out this week. It's the beginning of October, which means it's Halloween season. There is the Joker movie coming out on Thursday or Friday, and what else is going on? Stumptown has premiered on ABC, starring Agent Maria Hill from Shield. I want to say Smallville, but it's Kobe Smulders. Know her and love her from How I Met Your Mother. I've watched the first episode. It was okay, not great. So let's click around and see what we can find. First thing I wanted to see is the October edition. So let's go there first. And we're loading. I'm on a hotel Wi-Fi, so forgive me if this is not that fast. So I know it says September editions on the banner here, but these are the October selections here. So let's view all. We got the Witcher Library Edition, Volume 1. So what does this contain? 435 pages it does. And 1 through 5 of 1, 2, 3 classic, or not classic, miniseries. So that's 15 issues. Here's Volume 1, 2, and 3 here separately. Curse of Crows. The first volume has this beautiful Mike Mignola cover. Does not contain any art inside by him, so do not get excited about that. Here's the art here. Not terrible, not bad. I'm not a Witcher guy, not yet, but if you are, these look to be based on the video game series because it's got the same logo, I guess. And yeah, we're going to go with that. Based on the video games, maybe not the books. Who knows? What else do we have? Here's another one that I think my friend Jim Afanis will get excited about. The Gears of War Omnibus with art by Simon Bisley and Liam Sharp. This is a big deal. Liam Sharp is now like one of the premier artists. So this collects issues 1 through 13 of the DC Comics series, but it's being put out by IDW. So IDW must have the rights to the Gears of War comics right now. This doesn't tell us very much because the art is all stylized and stuff, but I can tell you the Liam Sharp art is... I've seen, I think, the first issue of this when it came out, and it was very interesting. Follow the brutal adventures of Marcus Phoenix and Delta Squad that takes place between Gears of War 1 and 2. This is 318 pages. I don't know why I'm reading the page counts now. Here's another one you should check out. Venom by Donny Cates. So I guess they're going to put out a lot of Venom stuff on ComiXology Unlimited. The event Maximum or Absolute Carnage right now is killing it with the team behind Venom. So if you read Venom Volume 1, which they added maybe a little bit ago, Donny Cates, art by Ryan Stegman. Then you go to Volume 2. Ryan Stegman's still here for a little bit, and then he jumps ship so that he can start working on Maximum Carnage. But Donny Cates is still here. You're reading about Venom, the symbiote. You're learning about Venom's kid. What? Did I say that? No, not Venom's kid. I meant Eddie Brock's kid. And then we have War of the Realms tie-in, which you don't really need to read. So really, if you want to read Absolute Carnage, you could read these 2 volumes here, Volume 1 and Volume 2, and then skip to the Absolute Carnage Issue 1, no problem. Because that sets up the God Null and all that stuff that Carnage is trying to bring back. This is one of my favorite Batman books in the last couple of years, Batman White Knight, written and drawn and inked by Sean Murphy, colored by Matt Hollingsworth. This is definitely worth your time. If you've not read this yet, shame on you. Now you have no excuse if you have ComiXology Unlimited. This is 8 issues long. It's different in that it takes place in an alternate world, so it's basically like its own little thing. You don't need to worry about any continuity. You just need to know who's Batman, who's the Joker, who's Harley Quinn, that kind of stuff. Basically, the idea for this is that the Joker goes sane, and when he goes sane, he starts coming for Batman as a citizen, basically, and Gotham City takes him seriously. So Gordon Murphy's got a very stylized, very awesome style, lots of ink work, very detailed, all his own. Let's zoom in on this Batman. This is Batman looking at the character of Jack Napier, and that is the name of the sane version of the Joker, taken from the 1989 Batman movie. So there he is, got Batman chained up. How did he get there? I don't know. You need to read. I mean, I do know, but you need to read it for sure. Cyclops Volume 1. This is the young Cyclops who was taken out of time for Bendis's all-new X-Men comic. And then he met his dad, who said, "Son, how are you young now?" And they went on a cosmic adventure. So Volumes 1 and 2 are here. I think this only ran for 12 issues, and it looks like they're all here on ComiXology Unlimited, so that is cool. Check it out. This is also a good place you can find art by Russell Dodderman, who kind of began here with his Marvel work and then moved on to bigger and better things, doing the Thor version with Jane as Thor, and then doing War of the Realms most recently. Aliens, Life and Death. I think we saw the Predator thing of this. So this is another Prometheus tie-in, part of a collection, which is not part of ComiXology Unlimited. But I bet when they do all 3 volumes that are collected in that big collection, it will be on here as well. Dragon Age comics, don't know. Astonishing X-Men Xenogenesis. So this is like, you had Astonishing X-Men start up with John Cassaday and who was the other guy? Joss Whedon. Then they did Warren Ellis, and then with Simone Bianchi, I think, on art. And then Warren Ellis came back with this miniseries with Kari Andrews, whose style, his painted covers are really cool, but his style here is something else. It's kind of weird and wacky, and I don't think this took off because the art was so different and strange and exaggerated, almost to the point of being ugly. I mean, Emma Frost is supposed to be beautiful, and she's not very pretty in that picture right there. What else we got? More Archie. I think this is the new version, written by Mark Waid. Yep. So these are the new adventures of Archie. Actually, the volume 5 and 6. So you can read. That's pretty much like the entire series there. How many issues is that? 32. So all 32 issues of this volume of Archie are here in ComiXology Unlimited. So if you want to be an Archie fan, you're watching Riverdale, check this out. It's more classic Archie than it is dark Archie, but you might like it. Avengers: The Origin. You definitely need to check this out just for Phil Noto's art. It's really, really cool. It's basically a modern 6-issue version of the original origin of the Avengers in the Silver Age. You've got Iron Man in gold armor. You've got Hulk on the team, facing the team, all that stuff. It's a great book. I had already owned this. That's why it says download here. But I've read it. It's great. Check it out. You've also got Excalibur, volumes 1 and 2. I looked on here earlier, and these are the volumes that take place in Genosha before House of M. So this is the destroyed version of Genosha that was destroyed in the new X-Men series with Grant Morrison, as this splash page will show you here. When it loads, here you go. Bing, bang, boom. Written by Chris Claremont, art by Aaron Lopresti. This is pretty old then, 2004. All right. Magneto, Not a Hero, so I think more from that same era. When did this come out? Clayman, Scotty Young. So this is a little bit after that, 2011. Clayman's art is really, really good. If you've not seen his stuff on Heroes in Crisis, you're missing out. Let's kind of try to find a cool page to bring up. I mean, this cover is impressive just by itself. Loading. There you go. It's really, really neat. So check that out if you want to read some Magneto. 4 issues. Pretty short. Worth a try. Chaos. Highway to Hell. I don't know what this is. I know Chaos Comics has like Lady Death and this weird big boobed demon girl who I don't know her name. Evil Ernie. Oh, the red girl here with the boobs is Purgatory. Chastity, I guess, is one of these other ones. Is Evil Death part of this? I don't. Maybe she's not. Or Lady Death. She might be a world her own. But these big-chested women certainly take from what Lady Death was, I guess, years ago. I've never read any Lady Death comics or anything like this, so I don't know. Check it out, I guess. If you're new to horror, or you want to try some horror-ish stuff, it'd be worth a shot. Bloom County, a whole lot of it. I think that's a comic strip, right? Yeah. Written and drawn by Berkeley Bretthead. Yeah, this is the comic with the weird penguins and stuff. So it's a strip of page. Wow. Couldn't fill the bottom of that page, guys. Alright, whatever. Borderlands comics, Harrow County, more of the Witcher stuff. So now we're getting into the single issues of stuff that was already collected. But it's always good to scroll here, like I always say, because sometimes you find things that aren't up front in the main thing that are collected. Single issues for White Knight, Xenogenesis, Avengers, Cyclops, Excalibur, Magneto, Venom. I love that. We are Venom. Alice Cooper versus Chaos. Some more horror stuff. You can check that out. I did not scroll all the way to the bottom before I did this video, so excuse my unpreparedness. Sometimes I want to be surprised. Here's some stuff. Ghostbusters. Answer the Call. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Kelly Thompson, Cornhall. So this is, I guess, came out a few years ago. Looks like it's highlighting the female Ghostbuster characters from the remake movie with people from SNL, and that did not do very well. I tried it. It just wasn't. I didn't think it was very funny. That's okay. So let's go into some other areas. Let's go into Stumptown. It said read Stumptown for free on ComiXology. Read Volume 1. Okay. 156 pages. Actually, yep, that's just Volume 1. But this is Greg Rucka. Greg Rucka is a great writer, and this might be actually worth looking at for sure. It takes place in Portland, and the art is very cool too. Sometimes you read some of these indie things. Lee Lowridge, yeah, he's no slouch. Published by Oni Press. All right. So here's some other stuff from Greg Rucka. At least this one, Whiteout. Greg Rucka and Steve Lieber, also no slouch. A great artist. I think this was actually made into a movie starring Kate Beckinsale, but I don't remember the movie being all that great. But that's not to say you shouldn't try it. So, what's The Damned? Cullen Bunn, he's no slouch either. He's a good writer. Prohibition Gangsters. And Someone Who Lost Their Soul. Demonic Families. That'd be worth a shot. Let's borrow that. I didn't actually hit borrow anything. Let's borrow Stumptown. And let's try Whiteout as well. I don't know if I've read that one. Boom. Here we go. It's got some new stuff. Okay, let's see what Joker stuff is here. 1 of 55. Okay. So this is all stories featuring the Joker, Batman White Knight. We talked about. This one is one of my favorites. Brian Azzarello, Lee Bermejo, the Joker graphic novel. This actually turns out as a prelude to the Batman Damned book that just came out. But this is a great book. You should definitely check this out. If you have not read it before, you can read it for free here as part of your subscription. This is not an ad, it's just a fact. Death of the Family. This is a story every Batman fan needs to read. If you haven't read this, the Joker comes back after cutting his face off at the beginning of Detective Comics #1 in the New 52, and he's wearing his face like a mask. That's where you get this weird, nasty cover. They did a lot of tie-ins and stuff with this, where the Joker visited other characters and inflicted pain on them. There's a big battle with the Batman family and Batman and the Joker. The Complete Hush. I wouldn't call this a Joker story as much as it is a Batman story. The Joker's in it for one issue, maybe. Not a ton. It's not loading that image, so we'll get out of there. Batman 23.1 featuring the Joker, Andy Kubert, Andy Clark. Can't go wrong with those guys. I don't know if I read this one. I own it, so I must have read it. It says download. If it says download when you're looking at these, it means you already own it. If it says borrow, it means you can borrow it. You don't own it yet. But once you hit borrow, it does change to download. Here you go. Here's only one issue? What the heck? And this is like the last issue, too. This is actually the worst, one of the worst issues to read because this is like almost the culmination of this entire story. So what I'm talking about here is the Black Mirror. It's a story by Scott Snyder. Actually, this is the first Batman thing he did. And when it starts way back here in Batman Detective Comics 871. This is just prior to the New 52. And at this time, Batman is Dick Grayson. So Scott Snyder and Jock hop on here and tell this story with Dick Grayson, also featuring James Gordon Jr., Jim Gordon's son. Franco Francavilla pops in here to do some backups and support work. And it keeps going. It's like 11 or 12 issues long, and this Joker issue was really good. But you need to read everything else. Fortunately, as we just scrolled by, we all discovered that this whole storyline is on ComiXology Unlimited, so that's what you should go read. Batman the Long Halloween, always recommend that. I gave it to Jim Afanis earlier, so look for a review on the channel for that in a couple weeks, maybe. Batman Nightfall Volume 1, I wouldn't call this a Joker story. He's in it, but he's not the main guy. Also, these are the old trades. These right here, 1, 2, and 3. And they got the preludes with the new trade dress. You can see the lettering up top. So, kind of weird that they're all in one category, but it's all Nightfall. So here's Black Mirror Collected Edition. Actually, wow, you can read a lot of Scott Snyder's Batman run on here. 1, 2, we highlighted 3 earlier, 4, 5, and 6. Through 0 year and after it. That's pretty cool. Batman, also Batman My Own Worst Enemy, Volume 1 and 2. Also by Scott Snyder, not featuring the Joker very prominently. My Own Worst Enemy features John Romita Jr. on art and Two-Face. And Batman is taking Two-Face out somewhere. And for whatever reason, he's doing this and Batman villains are hunting them down. I can't remember why, but the art was okay. Seeing John Romita Jr. on DC stuff is always a little weird. Here's more Batman stuff that's on here. I don't think this features Joker very much. Batman Shadow. Tom King's Batman run hasn't really featured the Joker. Kingdom Come does not have the Joker. Bruce Wayne Murderer does not have the Joker. Okay, so now we're getting carried away here, guys. Batman Year One does not feature the Joker. The Dark Prince Charming does. The Dark Prince Charming does. So this is was like a weird thing. It was like 63 pages, almost like a Black Label before they had Black Label. Fully painted story. Really beautiful art. But it's 2 parts, so it's like 120 pages long total. Is the entire thing on ComiXology? No, of course not, because that would make it easier to read, right? So that's unfortunate. They want you to buy it. Batwoman, not featuring the Joker. Nightwing, Volume 1, not featuring the Joker. Now we're getting into single issues. Yep, so that's basically all the Joker stuff that's worthwhile. Most of it is, until you get to the ones that don't feature the Joker. So that's that. So full series free on ComiXology. I always talk about this, but let's look at 3 they're highlighting right here. Rising Stars, they have Compendium Part 1 and Part 2. So the Part 1 here is the main story by J. Michael Straczynski. 1 through 24, and then Part 2 is like, it's still written by him, but it's different artists, I think. So, and it's different trades, so maybe it's side stories. Haven't read those, but I will someday. They're in my borrowed thing. Irredeemable. This is a series I read on ComiXology, the entire thing. I can get behind this 100%. Also, Incorruptible. I don't know if it's still on here, but I can get behind that 100%. You should definitely check it out. It's an evil Superman story. What if Superman went nuts and went evil, and then used his power for bad things to take over the world and destroy the world, and everyone lives in fear of him. You don't need to read both series. You can. They do tie in a little bit, but mostly they're their own separate stories. Transformers, More Who Meets the Eye. If you like Transformers, there's a whole lot of it here. At least 6 volumes. And Bloodshot. So those are the ones they're highlighting here. So there you go. Thanks for looking at ComiXology Unlimited with me here for the month of October 2019. As always, I will see you in the funny pages.